The
Oh
just
God.
front door actually. It's very,
Hmm.
very pretty scenario right now outside. Every
Actually,
day
yeah.
we are getting news of someone's death.
Hmm.
Verma ji, in the Nancy group, so I had told you, na, Verma ji? In
Ah,
Nancy group, so every day some members. Mamta, you know, na?
ah,
NHQ.
ah.
Mamta's mother got expired yesterday.
Oh,
Who was working in accounts?
very sad. Yeah, yeah.
Her mother got expired. Every day we are getting such someone's death news. Jaideep, you know, na? We have our member.
Ah,
Jaideep is from last 22 days. He is in ICU.
acha?
Today he has sent me such a long message, such a pity message. Yeah, exactly. He is from suffering from the COVID from last 22 days. He is on in ICU. He has got such a long message and he said कि I'm really sorry ma'am to send you the long message. बोले कि why sorry? You should share the authentic information. So he has said I will be sending you. Just spread to our members actually in the group also. We'll be
Hmm.
spreading that.
Ah,
He has shared his experiences actually.
you can share. It's good. He has
Yeah,
jotted it down,
yeah, exactly.
and
He
he
said कि so
how
much
is he now?
misconceptions. He is recovering. He is saying right now.
Recovering.
Yeah,
Okay.
recovering
Ah,
actually. He has
that's
told.
how he could have written now.
So exactly. So NC group, so every day there's just some good bad news. In the relatives also we are listening.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah.
very pretty
It's I
scenario.
think everybody is getting.
In Delhi you can see yesterday it was oxygen scarcity and the Batra hospital the 8 people got died now because of that
Yeah,
because of the lack of oxygen. Did you
Yeah,
see
one of
that news?
yeah, one of them was a very senior consultant,
it came in the
senior doctor.
newspaper also. No?
Ah, doctor also got. Yeah, one doctor also got. The exactly so such a bad scenario. In fact, actually, the because health system is just collapsing in India. Very, very threatening and
Actually,
Yes,
concerning.
it was never a priority.
it was not a.
Hmm.
It is not a blame to the health system. Actually, we have to find out why this came all of a
No,
sudden.
we are not blaming actually.
Ah,
We are
and then
lacking the resources
it came
actually
all of
because
a
yeah,
sudden,
cases has
and within
increased
a
so much.
month, it has almost
Hmm.
got covered the whole country. Now, madam,
Hmm.
I'm making
Exactly.
you host.
Acha. Hmm. Okay.
That's fine.
It's just about to be 4. That's why I was talking. It's not even 4 right now. So since morning it was smooth, all the classes, no networking issues.
Hmm.
In between, something comes, but we have some issues,
Hmm.
problems. But overall, it's okay. I mean, not much.
At my place, it's so much actually networking issue. I'm telling before only. Such a
And
poor net connection.
You need to change your service provider, man.
No, no, not service provider. We have changed so number. Tower is the problem in total apartment is the problem. I'm
Okay.
20th floor, na? So 20th floor, so high-rise building, it's a usual problem. Actually, even ki Dr. Babulal used to share me, ki, ma'am, yes, yes, I know high-rises building, all building is having the problem. So we cannot do, we have changed so many provider. And even then there is a problem. So you are the only one right now to be connected. So we will be waiting, Sudeep, for the 5-10 minutes
Yeah,
and then
sure.
we'll be
No,
start.
no problem, no problem.
So we can. So would you like to share something else, Vamaji? Meanwhile,
meanwhile, for assignments, I think it has come on online available. That
hmm.
message I sent it to the all the
Hmm.
members in different classes.
Hmm. Me-
So that is
Message to you
okay.
have sent. I've seen.
Hmm. And headquarter ISTD also wasn't a problem. And I think in our complex also there are all similar problem what you are telling. Na? Upper floor wale, niche floor
Hmm.
wale, and all are basically.
Hmm. Oh, your tower also. Na? Everywhere is this.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now,
And
it's very, very
Noida is
bad.
as such closed na, for till tomorrow,
Hmm.
Monday.
Delhi.
No, Noida. Noida is
Acha, Noida. Okay,
having
okay.
a curfew for Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So even my maid
Hmm.
is not coming.
Curfew. But Sunday to weekend to exactly weekend to there we are also not having the husband because weekend there is a problem with the commuting. There's nothing in on the road, so they're not coming the maid servants at all.
Ah. And this weekend curfew is extended till Monday. So that is
Till Monday.
Tuesday, yeah, till Tuesday
Day.
morning.
Delhi is also extending. Now today is finishing the lockdown in the Delhi. Delhi is also going to extend the lockdown for another 1 week.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yesterday only it was coming in the news. Total.
Well-
But the complete lockdown is required once again, I believe, in fact.
Modi
Yeah.
ji.
Now it has become essential.
Modi
It's a
ji
need
should
of the
come and
hour
do
actually,
namaste.
the way the question.
You want Modi ji
Do
to
namaste
come and
only,
do
only, Babaji, only namaste will not do.
No, I don't know
Only
what
do namaste.
what he
Namaste
will
will
say
not
later.
do.
I'm not sure, but
Their election process movement was so bad, you know.
I
I am fascinated of the Modi ji, but this movement really is where we cannot be the blind supporter of any party or any one actually. This election, the moment they did it and the Kumbh decision, it was very, very bad decision. Because of they got distracted because of the elections, in fact. The 5 states, they were the election, they got totally distracted, and that's why, because of the casual approach in the second wave, the India is facing what the other overseas country has faced in the first phase.
Ma'am, actually, this Kumbh
First
and
wave.
election, these have become scapegoat. The reality is nowhere, no one from South India went to either Kumbh or there was no election, nothing. But here also it is the surge because people are not following any kind of protocol. It is very
yeah, one of the major reasons. Yeah.
It is the major reason. Sir, I mean, tell me,
No,
Kumbh
this
is
is the myth, Sudeep. This
Ma'am,
is the misconception with the government also.
नहीं एक चीज
गवर्नमेंट ने भी
बताइए
नहीं सोचा सेकंड वेव आएगी.
एक बात बताइए कि कुंभ मेला जो है वो ऑर्गेनाइज किया गया. अब मेरे में अकल नहीं है क्या कि मैं वहां नहीं जाऊं.
नहीं, करना ही नहीं चाहिए ना. एक तो देखिए वो तो ठीक है कि ऑन द इंडिविजुअल वी ऑल आर रिस्पांसिबल, बट द गवर्नमेंट लेवल व्हाई दे ऑर्गेनाइज दिस टाइम. आपको पता है उत्तराखंड में वन गर्ल, आई एम इनटू द रेगुलर ट्रेनिंग सेशन. Uttarakhand was such a better position into the first wave also. There were such a less cases. Right now, because of the Kumbh Mela, only Uttarakhand has got affected so much. So much has spreaded because of the one reason, such a good state, such a neat state has got affected.
सब जगह वही हाल है.
And they were discussing. लेकिन अभी तो ओवरऑल है, तभी मैं कह रही हूँ कि ऑल लॉकआउट ऑफ द टोटल कंट्री लॉकआउट इज रिक्वायर्ड राइट नाउ.
यहाँ पे nowhere I see people wearing masks. Nowhere I see people having social distancing. कुछ नहीं है, nothing. कोई डर ही नहीं है.
Is waiting, is coming.
And then over to you, and then okay, bye bye.
Admit क्या नहीं रहा क्यों? Admit.
अभी हो जाएगा.
I'm admitting one more person has come. Arpita has come. Okay.
Bye.
Hello, Arpita.
See you.
Can you hear? Hello. Okay, you just give me the host.
The host is with you.
Okay. Should I share the screen? Okay, can you see the screen, Sudeep? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you see the screen?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, Arpita? Okay, so today's session, I'm starting actually, it's already 4:15 now, 4:10. So today's topic is such a topic actually, selection of the trainer, in fact. I think I should not. You people must be the modern trainer. You people should take this session should be the teach back session actually. What I think. So this session, what selection of the trainer, what the topic is there, I'll be telling the topic and you people should give me the answers. In fact, this should be the teach back session. In fact, that so the topics to be covered into this session will be the who is the trainer, roles of a trainer, competencies of a trainer, selection process of a corporate trainer, then factors enhanced the credibility of a trainer, and then the must have training tools for the trainer actually. So these are the topics we are going to cover. And before talking about the selection process, in fact, so we'll be talking about the first slide. Who is the trainer? So who can tell me who is the trainer? Now it's enough we have talked. It's a very easy to answer for you people. Who is the trainer? You two people are there, at least interact with me.
Yeah.
Who is the trainer? Nobody is giving me. You people are doing the courses and you people are not giving me answer. Who is the trainer? Arpita, can you hear me? You just unmute yourself for once. Arpita is not replying.
Well, trainer,
Hmm. Who is the trainer?
yeah, trainer is someone who has a set of knowledge, skill, and attitude which is willing to impart to the train.
Hmm.
Okay, and he has the kind of it is basically the imparter of KSA, knowledge, skill, and attitude.
Hmm. Exactly. So Arpita will not be replying. Huh? Arpita is not unmuting herself. She is not replying at all. Chale to Sudeep, I'll be interacting with you only. You are the only person right now, and you are the most consistent also. So, as you told, who is the trainer actually? The trainer is a person who transfer the learning in trainees. Okay, in the very way easy, simple language. So a person who helps trainees to improve, to sharpen, or to enhance the, as you said, KSA or ask we used to call the skill, knowledge, and attitude. Okay. Trainer is a person who helps trainees to achieve the specific learning outcomes. Okay. And the
Yeah.
trainer is the content expert. Being trainer, what we are, trainer is a content expert. So you can tell me what is the difference between the trainer and the facilitator? Who can tell me? What is the difference between the trainer and the facilitator?
Facilitator is someone who is kind of a hand holder.
In what?
Maybe in any chosen field of expertise, he is the one who hand holds and he travels with the participant. I mean to say, he is an active participant who goes through the whole process along with the participants.
Whole process. Yes. Right now, the one correct word you have used. So trainer, basically, can you tell me the one major difference between the trainer and the facilitator?
While the facilitator is a co-participant in the entire journey, trainer is someone who is slightly detached. He is imparting his giving the knowledge or information, whatever it is required during the training process, and then evaluation, etc. Whatever it is done, he's not a part of it. Whereas as a facilitator, he is a part throughout the whole process.
Anant has got connected. Arpita has got disconnected. Anant, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Yeah. You're from which chapter, Anant?
Sorry?
From which chapter you are? From which place?
Noida, from Noida chapter.
Achha, you're from the Noida only.
Yeah.
So, Anant, you're from the training line only?
Yes, I'm from the technical side.
You're the technical trainer? Okay. Acha, you are dealing, so you'll be teaching. That's why I said that today is such a topic. I'm taking selection of this topic should be the teach back. You people must be more aware. You all are the modern trainer. We are the traditional trainer. You people should teach me back actually this topic. So that's why I'm discussing and interacting with the people, because right now they're just 4 o'clock. You two people are connected right now. So Anant, you tell me, do you understand the difference between the trainer and the facilitator?
I've seen a lot of I interact with a lot of trainers and
Facilitator.
facilitators. So by my interactions, I can try to differentiate. I see that the trainer's main task is to transfer the knowledge that they have. No, they have a subject. They are the subject matter experts
Okay.
who impart their knowledge to the audiences. But the facilitator is someone who as Sudeep sir said, that handholds the entire process of learning. The facilitator nudges the people to think, to talk, and he kind of directs the conversation so that some positive outcome or the desired outcome can come from this conversation. So that, from my understanding, is the difference between a trainer and a facilitator.
Yeah, that major difference is that only the trainer, as you told, is a content expert, but facilitator is not necessarily a content expert. Because a facilitator is an expert in many forms of group processes. They are having the expert in dealing with the groups actually, including the inter and intra-group conflict resolution, the strategic planning, team building. So trainer is expertise, having the expertise into the group processes. In fact, not necessarily they will be the content expert, and trainer is not necessarily expert in many forms of group process. Instead, continuously what the trainers are doing, develop the new methods to help the participants achieving in the specific learning outcomes, because training ka main part kya hai, to transfer the learning. So they are having the expertise in that, actually being trainer. Facilitator often helps the group to define and verbalize its own outcomes. So they're helping the people to help themselves. Facilitator is having the capacity to motivate the group to help themselves actually. So that is their expertise. In fact, actually, facilitators see facilitation as a process, as you people say, whole process. Facilitator actually sees the facilitation as a process to help achieve specific bits of all broad organizational goal. Trainers often focuses on training impact on actual discrete job performance or task. So training, as we had discussed before also, is related with the current job or the task, and the trainers is helping improving the KSA for the specific job or the current job individual is holding right now. So basically that's the thing, because of who is the trainer we were discussing. So you people need to understand the difference between the trainer and the facilitator actually, because facilitator in the corporate actually majorly we are not working exclusively as a trainer. We need to be facilitator also, because the whole process we need to understand the whole process actually, and we need to help the company into the out of all the processes of the company. In fact, actually, because similarity, there are so many similarities between the trainer and the facilitator. So facilitation skill will be discussing afterwards also. So till here we have done the next topic, ki if you want to become the successful trainer, then your style should be unique, appropriate, and flexible. So this is the, because of the visual you can see it out, because trainer's style, what we used to say, if you are if you want to become the successful effective trainer, actually our style should be unique. And the modern trainer, so specifically they required actually if they want to such a competition in the market right now, and their style should be appropriate. What do you mean by the saying that style should be the appropriate? Who can tell? What do you mean that style should be appropriate?
It should be appropriate to the task that for which they have been hired. For example, my style should be, if I'm taking a leadership development program, I should be dealing with the people who are aspiring to become future leaders. I cannot treat them like supervisors. So
appropriate is that behavior.
Yeah,
because you need to be role model actually. When you're dealing with the trainees, actually you cannot insult them, you cannot, you need to, your behavior should be very appropriate with them. You should be well behaved with them, Appropriation is the meaning in that form actually. Your style should be acceptable by all the trainees.
Yeah.
It should not be insulting to the group, in fact, to any individual employee or to the group of people. People should not be disliking, people should be liking and accepting that style of you. Then the trainer style should be the flexible. Flexibility, what do you mean by the flexibility?
Well, there are different kinds of trainees in a training program. So he should be flexible enough to adjust to the requirement of different types of styles of trainees. You know, some may be fast learners, some may be slow learners. But as a trainer, I should be such that I should be, you know, liked by everybody, and I should take care of the requirement of every participant. So that requires the flexibility.
Flexibility is directly related with the audience, learners.
Yeah.
Learners, in which form they want to learn actually. Trainers should be very flexible in their learning styles. In which form their audience, their learners, their participants want to learn actually. And as per so far this schedule is also concerned, which schedule is suiting to the, so we need to be flexible, trainers need to be flexible. We should not be adamant actually. So far the schedule is concerned, so far the style of ours is concerned. Understanding the audience, understanding the participants, we need to adapt that style which is acceptable, which is likable, and which is easily understood by our trainees, by our participants. Okay, so for becoming successful trainer, these three quality trainer style should be unique, appropriate, and flexible. Okay, coming to the next slide actually. So we'll be talking about the roles. Now, who is the trainer? For becoming the successful trainer, what style you need to adapt. Then we'll be coming to the roles of the trainer. So first I'll be in the roles actually. We'll be discussing about the traditional roles of a trainer. Okay, what are the traditional roles of the trainer in fact? So traditional roles, as you can see on the screen actually, traditional roles where trainers were actually playing the role of the training designer, then training leader or training heads, then training expert. LI means actually training coordinator, you can say. Okay, then business partner, organizer, moderator, presenter. These are the traditional roles of a trainer in fact. What the designer in the brief actually, I have written the points over here actually. What is the trainer designer role in fact? When you are playing the role of the trainer designer, then what exactly is the job profile, what exactly you're looking, roles and responsibility. So designer adapts the training program to trainees needs. As per the training needs, they're adapting the training program, knows and uses the principles of the learning, adult learning principles. Okay, you all know the adult learning principles actually. Okay, so introduce it, because these things we have read enough in fact. So introduces advocate training methods, design training manual and learning materials, deliver train the trainers workshops. So these are the duties and responsibility and the roles and responsibilities of the designer being trainer. Okay, second role, leader. So training leader, training heads, what do they do? That defines the training situation first, then manages the work of the training group, then acts towards reaching the training goal, and then understand and controls the group processes. Okay, and reacts in difficult situations. Whenever there is a problem, they need to react, they need to come forward. That is the work of the leader actually. Okay, every process, training process should go smoothly. For that, the leader should come forward if in case of any problem actually. Then we come into the expert role. What is the role of the expert into the training? So training expert, what do they do actually? They present the subject. Okay, because expert, when we talk about, then we are talking about the subject expert, the content expert. Okay, so their role is they presents the subject and makes use of his or her expertise in whichever field he or she is expert. They are making the uses of it actually. Okay, so experts, what do they do actually? Being experts, you need to understand it out, because subject present, they are doing that. Okay, when we coming to the li means, as I told you, you can say training coordinators role actually. What the basically the coordinators are doing into the training process actually, they takes care of good friendly contact with the training group. Basically, they are maintaining the cordial relationship with the training group. Then takes care of the trainees, feel of security. So safety measures, whatever the safety measures or safety concerns of the trainees are there, they're taking care of it. And then supports the trainees in exercises, whatever focused exercises or activities we are carrying. So they are assisting the trainees into that. So the coordinator's job is also very important actually. So amplifies the positive behavior, as I told you. Because they are environment, just to cordial environment, they are responsible actually to coordinate with them so that there should not be any dissatisfaction spreading between the participants or the trainees. So they are taking care of that and takes care of good relations between the participants. And that is the just bottom line actually. Being coordinator, you need to maintain the good relations and with the participants, and you need to take care of their requirements in fact, so that there should not be any dissatisfaction. Okay, so this is the basic role of the coordinators. When we come into the business partner, so it's a very important right now. The companies, the professional companies are looking from us to play this role actually, because it is very, because we, in the semester one also we have done the training strategy. And strategy, when we are using the word, that means we are talking about the linking the training, aligning the training with the business strategy. So this is the role actually which will be taking us very high impact. Business partner means adapting the training program to business circumstances of the client. If we are conducting the training for the client, we need to understand the goal, vision and mission of that company with first. Okay, what the goal, vision and mission of that company is, what is their business goals, and how to contribute in achieving that goal. Business as a business partner, being trainer, we need to contribute, we need to align the training with the business goals actually. And then we need to align the training with the organization success, how to organization should be successful, how the organization should be achieving their set organization goal. So this is the very powerful role which being trainer we can play, because if we are not at this way, we are coming into the strategic part actually. So trainers, when come into the strategic part, strategic role of the company, in fact, their positions become very strong actually, very relevant positions we are holding it out. So this is one of the role which I'm telling you, this these days in the out of the traditional role, it's a very important role. The trainer who can contribute to the business of the company, they can hold their future will be very secure. Okay. Another role we are playing is the organizer, training organizer. What is their role? So their role falls before the training, during the training and after the training. Before the training, what the organization is doing actually, they learns about participants and place of the training. They prepares the materials, they arranges the training room there. And during the training, what they're doing actually, organizers takes care of trainees and training resources. There should not be any lack of the resources. Whatever resources the trainees are requiring, room should be very proper, the layout should be, room layout should be very proper. Then there should be the refreshment should availability should be there. There should be the availability of the what washrooms for the female and the male trainees. So these things they need to take care, whatever physical resources and whatever logistical requirements are there, they need to organize it and they need to take care of that. After training, remove stress sensitive materials and developed during the training. So organizers role fall from the beginning to end, from J to E, from the from where we are starting the training till end. After the end of the training, the organization, this is the one role which falls from beginning till end. Okay. Then being moderator, so we are playing the role of the moderators. What do the these days in the webinars, so you are saying it about how the important role the moderators are playing. Due to the pandemic, the maximum is the e-learning courses are going on, and maximum the webinars are going on. Seminars. So all online things are going on, and moderators are playing the very critical and the crucial role into that actually. So moderator, being moderator, what we are doing actually, we are uses discussion actually. So this क्या करते हैं, what the moderator are doing, they are using the discussion as a learning method. Discussion there is the strength of them actually. Okay, they knows and uses methods of leading discussion, how to lead the discussion. The it should not be getting distracted, it should be on track actually. These are their strength point. They stimulates engagement of trainees. They activates the process of sharing experiences. You see, such a, if you will be, you'll be hearing to the good and the strong moderator, they are such a effective one. In fact, actually, they are making the program so effective. If the moderator is good, they are taking out the best of the speakers. So strong moderator plays a very critical role in the success of any webinar, in the success of any training. Actually, they can take the best of the speakers. In fact, whatever speakers we have called, if they are not on track, actually they can bring them on the track and they can take the best of them. So whatever experiences they are having, in fact. And the last traditional roles is the presenter role. So presenter, being presenter, what we are doing actually defines the situation of the presentation or training, then structures the presentations, then reinforce interest of the training group, then takes care of the understanding of the presentation, then inspires, engages, tells stories, use humor, takes care of the language of the presentation, controls his or her voice, then uses well prepared visuals, controls his or her body language, and keeps contact with auditorium. That means training room. So training, whatever is the decor under the training room, the presenter needs to, since the training till the end, they need to take the care of it. So these are the traditional roles actually, and nothing bad in this traditional role actually. But when we talk about, because I told you that in the roles, so I'll be talking about, discussing about both traditional roles as well as the modern trainers roles and responsibility, in fact. So why from the traditional roles we are switching to the modern roles actually? Because there is a gap. Okay, what is that at that gap actually? Who can tell me? Where is the gap since modern role and the traditional roles? Anyone can tell me? Anyone can share?
I think the major gap is the technology, because the technology
Mm,
has changed a lot, and all
yes,
these traditional roles, they were based on that face-to-face training delivery. Now, since everything is moving to
very,
digital,
very, very rightly said.
yeah,
Technology actually, there's the internet revolution brought, however, many additional possibilities of influencing the learners actually. देखिए, of course, every learn trainer is free to deliver the training based on the traditional roles and responsibility. And nothing wrong in that actually into the traditional roles. But the internet revolution, the technological advancement brought, however, many additional possibilities of influencing the learners. And these should be taken into consideration by the modern trainers. While thinking about one's own development and the role in the industry, they should consider the modern trainers should consider these revolutions actually. And that's why we are going to discuss the roles and responsibility of the modern trainer. You can say it out. So new roles of the modern trainer, e-trainer actually. So what is the new role? Is the e-trainer's role actually. You can see it out. Can you is it visible to all of you? Can you see the clearly what are the roles I'm seeing? Content curator. Can you see the first role? Content. So we are, what are the modern roles? What is the switch actually? What was the gap we discuss about? Technological advancement, internet revolution. These are the gaps actually from the traditional role to the modern role actually. And to fill this gap actually, to what we need to advance in ourselves in fact. So first, we need to modern trainer. Every modern trainer should be ready to enter into the role of a content curator. Okay. So content curator, there are many pieces of valuable content available. Some of them could be used by trainees as a pre-work stimulus for the reflection implementation tool, getting it out. So as you can see on the screen actually, to curate content, trainer should be ready to search, choose, describe, validate, and update his or her selection of contents. So content curator is that actually, when we talk about the curator actually, they need to advance. What is the meaning? A person who selects content for presentation as on from the website. So curator is that a person. Curator is a person who selects content for presentation actually. So content curator is that content curator should have, the trainer should have be ready, should be having the actually the ability to search, choose, describe, validate, and update the selected content of them from the website. Okay, this is the first role of the trainer, modern trainer actually. Good understanding of the internet space is required for that actually. Okay, so good understanding of the internet space in terms of what we are talking about, the good understanding of the internet space in terms of the search engines, uses of the IP issues. What do you mean by the IP issues? Who can tell me? IP issues, do you understand the intellectual property? Anyone?
Copyrights issues.
Exactly. Whatever material we are putting on the internet, that nobody should be, other people should not be copying it out and
Copying it.
reproducing it out. Okay, reproduce the people what we doing these days actually. Okay, they are copying it out somebody else material matter and they are reproducing it out. For that is the just to protect that there is an intellectual property. To one trainer should be as a the content curator, you should be aware the good understanding of the internet is best in terms of the search engines, search engines uses and the IP issues, then communities of practices. These we should have the understanding of it. Communities of practices which are available. So, do you understand what is the communities of the practice? Anyone understand the COP? What is the COP communities of practice?
Right. Yeah.
Hmm. Communities of practice is a group of people actually, as a group of people who shares concern or passion for something they do and learn how to do it better as they interact regularly with each other. They are regularly interacting with the members of common interest in a particular domain or in a particular areas. Okay, so they used to make their community who are from the same domain, from the same area, and they're sharing their ideas, their specialty into that. Okay, so we should have the idea actually how to join some communities of the practices actually, which are available online COP. So you can call the right now the COP, not online COP. Virtual community of practices are there. Virtual, when we talk about the online COP, is a COP that is developed and maintained on internet by the experts, by the training experts actually, by the subject experts. They are maintaining it out. So if you are joining those community actually, so will be really enlightened by the will be having the insights of that topic or that area or that domain actually. So we should have the, being modern trainer, we should have the idea and knowledge of these things. Okay, second role you can see it out, e-learning designer. So it is very apparent actually, e-learning designer. What do we mean by the e-learning design? A modern trainer should understand at least the basics of the e-learning. Having such a knowledge is important during designing learning interventions. When we are designing the learning interventions, actually the e-learning knowledge is required. By understanding e-learning pros and cons, modern trainer can choose the best methods of training. So we need to understand the pros and cons of the of the e-learning, and that will be helping you in choosing the best methods of the training actually. E-learning instructions design competence and they are very important actually, and even basic knowledge of the e-learning content development tools and techniques will help you in engagement of the employee very well in designing and delivering process of e-learning courses. It will be helping in so many ways actually. It will be helping you into the engaging the trainees. It will be helping in the designing. It will be helping in delivering process of the e-learning course actually. So being e-learning designer, this is the new role modern modern role of the trainer, and actually they should be instructional designer and the developer. So they need to have the idea of that, they need to play this role actually. So third is a blended learning designer, so knows variety of training methods. So what we mean blended means they are well aware of all the training methods, knows variety of training methods, actually fits the methods of to learning situation, any learning situations they can fit themselves actually. It is also very important for a modern trainer to see the whole picture of training methods and tools actually. So not only one specific field will be working out as a modern trainer right now. So such a competence will help them to find the best way of delivering training, taking into account not own's preference matters, not only own preference methods actually, but the how to adapt such method which will be the time, which will be saving the time, cost, efficiency and needs of the trainees and organization. It will be taking care such. So blended learning designers are having a very crucial role actually they play into the saving the time of the company, they're saving the time of the trainees, then cost of the company, then efficiency, needs of the trainees they are taking care, and the needs of the organization as well they're taking care. So only good understanding of all available methods helps to design the optimal blended learning process, optimal blended learning courses. Okay, so this is also very important role of the modern trainer in fact. Then next is the information architect. As you can see it out, traditional trainer is usually a master of the personal presentations supported by the visuals, but nowadays visual visuals themselves start to play a very important role during learning interventions. A modern trainer should know the principles of information architecture. What do you mean by the principles of information architecture? They should be able to create visuals, infographics, knowledge pills, learning maps. These are the knowledge as you can see it out actually. So this is the more principles of information architecture. They should be having the fair enough idea of the infographics, visuals, short films and the learning maps actually. Short films or the knowledge pills we used to call into the such a small pills. We are giving the all the relevant how to provide or share the relevant informations, relevant knowledge into the small knowledge pills. Okay, so these are the very important role. The another role, editor role. Okay, so being modern trainer actually should also prepare to communicate with trainees in written and visual form actually. So their editing competency, their editing competency in terms of building a statement. What do we mean by the editing competency actually? Actually, editing competency in terms of building statements, grammar, and spellings should be much higher than traditional trainers. Their, their capacity of their competency on building the statements, grammar, spelling, and creating the author tools they should use the authoring tools. What is authoring tools? In the end, I'll be discussing it out. And to create the messages, that should be much higher of the modern trainer than the traditional trainers who uses mostly one's voice and body language. Because traditional trainers know what we're using actually. The maximum uses we are doing is the voice and the body languages. But modern trainers need to understand the uses of all these text messages, visual messages, the building the statements, their grammar, their spellings, their so these are the things they need to understand it out into the e-trainer need to understand. So they need to play as an editor. Okay, this role is also very important being modern trainer in fact. Then coming to the left hand side, you can see it out last is the remote trainers actually. What do we mean by the remote trainers? This is the another, these are the 9 roles I'm just discussing with you all as a modern trainer actually. So first was the content curator, then second e-learning designer, third is a blended learning designer, and the fourth is the information architect, and then editor, and then remote trainer. Right now we are going to discuss, this is the 6th role actually, we're discussing it out. So a modern trainer, anybody can tell me what do I mean by the remote trainers? Anyone? What is the meaning?
Remote trainer here means trainer can be located anywhere, not necessarily be in front of the audiences.
Acha, only trainers can locate.
Uh, the trainers as well as the participants, everyone is like as
Yeah,
now.
so we need to being trainer, we need to talk in context of the trainees only, participants actually.
Mhm.
Participant, a modern trainer should understand that the training something is being delivered remotely. Remotely means what would do mean actual distance learning we're talking about. Distance learning mean kya hota hai being trainer? We are giving the we are transferring the learning to the distant people actually. So knows the remote learning tool is very important for that actually. From the most primitives ones like email to the most sophisticated like virtual presence solution, VR solution, that is a virtual reality we need to understand. Virtual presence solutions we need to understand and knows how to effectively use them in the training functions. It's very important. But I mean, during pandemic time also, why the e-trainer role I'm discussing actually, in the long run, we can see it out. Classroom training will become actually obsolete for the longer period, in fact. The way is spreading, and because of the so many companies are employs 90% employee in the Noida. I'm seeing it and sharing with the people. In fact, the most of the IT industry from last 1 year, 90% of their employees are working from home. Getting it out. So remote trainers will be, and now what they're doing actually. Previously they were at their wherever the organizations were there, they were staying there, but now they have gone to the where they have gone, where their families are there. So they have gone to their family towns, in fact. So anywhere remotely they are, in fact, right now in the working from home actually, this is the very important role being trainer. So trainer can manage the challenging with lack of face-to-face contact with trainees. So our specialty should be there actually. We should be able to manage the challenges with the lack of face-to-face contact with trainees. So it is also important for such a trainer to know the etiquettes and rules of the remote communities. Okay, so remote community, what is the rules and the etiquettes that he or she need to know being trainer actually. Another role is the, you can see it as a process owner. So blended learning processes are usually much more complicated than traditional ones. So now we are talking in the e-training and the blended training we are talking about actually. So actually it is more complicated than the traditional ones actually. Classroom, traditional ones we are talking about, then the classroom training we are talking about. So e-learning, the blended learning is processes are usually much more complicated. They utilize numerous tools and methods. They used to be longer. A modern trainer is ready to take care. A modern trainer should be actually ready to take care of the whole process. Modern trainer also understand they need to understand the whole process and endeavors to the goal, even if he or she is engaged in any responsible, and they should be responsible not only for the smaller part, they should be looking ahead with the total process actually whole. Because the facilitator work, what I'm saying that the role is switching, more role is switching towards the facilitator, which we have discussed in the beginning also. So as a coach, as a mentor, as a counselor, as a facilitator, we need to play the role actually as a whole process owner we need to become actually. So in the remote training as well, we need to play the total role as a facilitator, as a coach, as a mentor, as a counselor. We need to play all the roles actually, multifaceted role into the remote training also, and as a process owner also. Process owner, as you see, was intervention owner is traditional learning, long term learning processes. What is happening actually in the long term learning processes? So what is happening in the long run, what is the problem into the long term learning process, who can tell me? Anyone can tell me? What happens in the long-term learning processes in the long-term courses? Anyone? Anyone can tell me? Hello, you people are online?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Mhm. So what is the problem with we are providing that the long term or long run courses we are running it out? What is the challenge into that? Being process owner, who can tell me?
In long term, ma'am, we can say that we sometimes lose sight of where we want to reach, and also the retention of people is very less in long
Very
term.
nice. Hmm.
Another factor which affects long term learning is the circumstances. They might change in between.
Hmm. Very right points, very valid points. And another, what you are missing, being trainer? The long run courses, what is happening? So many things becomes obsoleted. So many
Right.
things, updations. The being process owner, actually, we need to be updated. Okay, whatever updations are coming, we need to integrate into that long term courses actually. So whatever courses, so the long term courses, actually we need to keep the track. Actually we need to have the updation process. So many things becomes obsolete, and when we keep on using that content, actually we has which has got obsoleted. So what will be the learning outcomes? Retention is, that's what the poor, actually the people are losing the charm, because there, that is not a updated material we are providing content. And that is the thing actually, we need to understand being process owner. Okay, being the another job we are having is a stimulator. Being modern trainer, we need to be a great stimulator. What is happening in the distance learning or the remote learning also of the people requires constant stimulations. As you told, retentions become, engagement becomes so much problematic. So learners should be motivated and supported. A modern trainer should be ready to enter into the role of a stimulator, a person who understands the challenges of trainees and who takes care of them with proper engagement and competencies. So stimulator role is also these days very important. So the trainers should not be losing the interest into the course on the topic of whatever training we are providing. Actually, the trainers should not lose the interest into that. We need to keep on motivating them. How we can motivate, how we can engage, you all know. We need to focus on the specific activities, focused activities we need to do actually. So many things we need to blend it out into the our training, learning technology into the learning methods, to whichever learning methods, learning styles, learning principles, whatever we are adapting, it should not be making the losing the interest of our trainees. Okay, and then the lastly, not the least actually, this is the constant professional development learner. So modern trainer should be the lifelong learners. They need to have, what is happening actually, rapid changes in the training industry force a modern trainer to constant professional development. We need to have the updations, we need to have the constant professional development. Traditional training has been performed on a basis of the same principles from ages, as you people know. But new training and the working requires updates of trainers competencies. So modern trainer needs to be constant learner, and they require the constant professional development. So these are the 9 roles which are very important to for the trainers in the modern era actually. They need to be content curator, they need to be e-learning designer, they need to be blended learning designer, they need to be information architect, they need to be editor, they need to be the remote trainer, they need to be the process owner, they need to be stimulator, and they need to be the lifelong learners. They need to constant professional development they require actually. So for the self development they're requiring, otherwise they will become outdated in the market actually. Nobody will be asking them. Okay, so that is the reason the modern role we have discussed. So who is the trainer and what are the roles of the trainer actually, we have discussed it out. So next topic will be moving it out actually. What are the major competencies which are required by the trainers? So major competencies you might all be aware of. So in your field, so major competencies which are required by the trainer to possess is a first is the technical competencies, second is the business competencies, third is the interpersonal competencies, fourth is the intellectual competencies. Okay, so you do understand the what is the meaning of the technical competencies. Technical competencies means the trainer should have the adult learning understanding. They should have the understanding. They should be competent in career development theories and techniques. Getting it out? Career development theories and techniques. Do you have any idea what are the theories of the career development? Anyone? Anyone is having? Anyone is having the idea of the theories and techniques of the career development? Both of you? Social, cognitive, self-concept theory of the career development. There's a theory of work adjustment. Holland's theory you might have learned of the vocational personalities in work environment. There is a Gottman theory actually of the concept of career development. So there's a so many being the modern trainer actually we should have the technical competency. We should have the advancement technical, whatever the advancement is coming, whatever the technical theories and techniques are there, we should be competent in that. So competency, technical competency includes this competency identification skills, computer competency, electronic systems skills, evaluation skills, media selection skills, objective preparation skills, training and development theories and techniques understanding. Apart from the career development theories and techniques, they should have the training and development theories and techniques understanding as well as the advanced research skill they should be having. Training and development theories at least you might be knowing it out. So technical competencies involves all these competency and these actually. So what are the training and development theories and techniques? Who can tell me? At least so much you people have learned in the first semester, also second semester is going on. What are the training and development theories and techniques that we need to understand being more trainer? What is the one common, very common theory?
One is the adult learning theory.
Very good. This is the
Very
most
common.
commonly.
Yeah.
Because we are going to give the training to the adults actually. So adult learning theories we need to understand. Then the constructive, then what are the more theory? Learning theory, information process theory. There is a theory of reinforcement actually. There is a theory of experiential learning. Then theory of social learning, theory of behavioral learning. These theory we should be being good trainer, we should be knowing it out. What is the experiential learning theory? What is the social learning theory? What are the behavioral learning theory? So we should cognitive theory. So we should be well aware of these things actually. So technical competency is very important part. Then the second important competency is the business competencies. Business competencies means we should be competent enough in budgeting, training budget and resource management skill. We have talked about the resource planning into the last session in fact. So we should have the expertise into the how to do the resource planning, how to do the resource management, and into the specific budget, whatever the company budget is there, how to plan the resources and how to complete the training program into that specific budget, into the specific timing with the available resources. Okay, we should have the competency into that. Actually, we should have the business understanding. When we talk about the business understanding, that means we're talking about in the terms of the economics of the business. Actually, we need to understand the customer behavior. We need to understand the goal, vision, and mission of the organization, and then only we can contribute to the organization in achieving their set organization goal. So being trainer, as we discussed before also, we should have the business understanding, in which business company is, what are their customer, what are their customers behavior actually. So knowing the economic impact of business decisions, it's very important being trainer actually. Then only we can link, align the training with the organization success actually. Okay, then organization behavior understanding. So seeing organization as a dynamic political, economic, and social systems that have multiple goals, using that larger perspective as a framework for understanding and influencing the events is very important. So we should have the competence of the understanding the organizational behavior. What is the organization behavior? What is the organization culture? What is the work environment of the company? We need to have the very understanding of that organization in which we are providing the training actually. Okay, then organization development theories and techniques. Organization development, OD theories. In the first semester also we have discussed about the OD theories actually. Can you recall, Sudeep, what are the OD theories and what are the key concept of the OD theories? On which part of the organization we are focusing while the organizational development? Anyone? Can you recall the key concept of the OD theory, organizational development theory? There's a separate session for that actually. Organizational development I have conducted into the semester 1 also. Can you tell? Can you recall, both of you? Anant is also from the Noida chapter, so you might have done last semester classes, Anant.
Yes, ma'am. I recall
Sorry.
that there was theory X and theory Y for.
Theory X and theory Y is the motivational theories.
Right.
This is not OD theories.
Okay.
Theory X and Y is the motivational theories. There are the manager who are having the negative attitude, and they are the managers who are having the
Right.
positive
Yes.
attitude actually. OD theory is the three key concept actually in the OD theories we are working. That is organization climate, organization culture, and the organizational strategies. And the
Oh,
theory, when
okay.
we talk about the organization development theories and techniques, what techniques we are adapting is a transactional analysis theory, feedback survey, team building, sensitivity training, then the management grid and the management by objective. Sorry, I'm getting cold. Okay, so organization development theory is that OD theory where when we are working, we are focusing on the organizational climate, then culture, and then the strategies. If the strategy is not working, we need to bring the changes. So basically, the OD theories are focusing on the improvement part. Okay, how to improve the culture of the company, how to improve the strategies of the company, how to improve the climate of the organizations actually. So this competency we should have. If you're not understanding, we are not having the business competencies actually, then we cannot contribute to the business of the company. We cannot assist the companies in achieving their set organization goals. Okay, so next is the interpersonal. So time is very short actually, so I'll be moving fast. So if you people keep on interacting, only two people are there, I don't know what is wrong today. So but the time is very bad actually, so very depressing scenario everywhere. So interpersonal competence is the next competency. So interpersonal competences, you might be understanding you all. What do we mean by that? The coaching skill, feedback skill, group process skill, negotiation skills, presentation skills, questioning skills, and then answering skills also is required. Okay, and then relationship building skills and the writing skills. These are the part of the interpersonal competencies. So we need to be, trainer need to become the interpersonal competent as well. Then we coming to the intellectual competencies. So intellectual competencies, we are the data reduction skill competencies, information search skill, and then the reasoning skill. So we should be competent into that. Data reduction skill means we need to be having the competency into the scanning, synthesizing, and drawing the conclusions from the data. So whatever data, whatever content we are having, actually, how to scan it out, the relevant data, and then synthesize it out, and then drawing the conclusions from the data. This competency we should have. Intellectual competency is a part of the intellectual competencies. Information search skill. You all must be understanding. Gathering the information is how important being trainer actually. Gathering the information from the printed and other recorded sources, then identifying and using information specialist and reference services and ads. Okay, so this competency also we should have. We should have the reasoning and skills competency. Projecting trends, whatever the market trend is going on. Okay, so projecting trend and visualizing possible and probable futures and their implications is very, very important actually. So you have slept, Jitendra? Why you are so late? Jitendra, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Jitendra?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So why you are late? You have slept? हाँ? गर्मी है, सो रहे थे आप?
नहीं. Actually, ma'am, I was trying to connect with the technical issue is coming on from morning, since morning.
Okay. Okay, that's why I thought कि Sudeep, you, Jitendra, you people are the most consistent actually into the Noida.
नहीं इसीलिए फर्स्ट वाले सेशन में भी यही हुआ, थर्ड वाले में भी यही हुआ.
हाँ, अच्छा, really technical तो networking issue is so great everywhere. That's why I have excused myself in the beginning only. If there will be the problem, so just bear with me. Okay, चलिए तो.
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry.
नहीं, it's okay. Why sorry actually? कि this is a part of it. Because if any other reason you would not have, then you might be. But
No.
I'm excusing you because of this reason actually.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
so topic is also such actually, because that today I told the Sudeep also in the beginning that this is not today's topic, is that it should be the teach back topic. Selection of the trainer is the topic actually. Who is the trainer? What are the competencies required? Major competencies required? What are the roles of the trainer? What are the roles of the modern trainer? We have done till that actually right now. Okay. So last competencies we are discussing intellectual competencies the trainer should have actually. So coming to the topic name today. So now we'll be coming to the process of the selection of the corporate trainer. So there's not a rocket science how to select the trainer, as you all know.
Yes, ma'am.
As you can see the steps. What are the steps for the selecting the corporate trainer actually? Identify the trainer's competency, behavioral based interview with HR, candidates presentation, and select the trainer. तो मेजर 3 processes are doing. सबसे पहले आप लोग को क्या करना है step 1 पे, when we are selecting the corporate trainers, in fact, so we need to identify the trainer's competency. Anybody can tell how you'll be identifying the trainer's competency and what are the essential skills required for the corporate trainer?
Like my trainer competition can be it should be a matter subject expert, subject matter expert, you can say. And
Okay.
about that, the presentation skills should be, the basic presentation skills should be there.
But right now the presentation will be coming into the third step actually. I'm sticking you to the step 1 right now. When we are identifying the trainer's competency, because I have discussed you about the competency, you know, actually skill, knowledge, and the competency, how important it is. It is the foundation. Competencies are the foundation for the trainer's candidate for selecting, evaluating, and for the training of the trainers.
Right.
Getting it out? So when we talk about the competency, identifying the competencies are the foundations upon which trainer candidates are evaluated, selected, and trained. So it's a very, so when we talk about the competencies of the corporate trainer actually, so what I'm asking, what are the essential competencies or essential skills which is required by the corporate trainer? That I'm asking about. First, अब देखिए, we are identifying the trainer's competency as per the
Ma'am, here
job
we can
description.
here we can just add that ability to access employee,
Very good.
research skill, his homework
Very
about the
good.
topic,
Very rightly said.
and how much technology friendly he has.
Hmm.
Like if you are talking about virtual training, just like we are doing, so how much he is friendly about the system.
Very rightly said. अब देखिए, अब ये देख, you are talking about the few actually, but majorly we talk about the 7 essential skills. But before that, coming to that 7 essential skills actually, first you need to know step 1. We are identifying the trainer's competency as per the job description, as per the organizational needs actually. So first you people need to know what are the duties and responsibilities of the corporate trainer actually. So as you can see, what are the duties and responsibilities of the corporate trainer? They first is the determine the training needs. They need to determine the training needs. They need to prepare the training material. They need to schedule and they conduct sessions, training sessions. They need to evaluate the budget. They need to evaluate the effectivity of the training. They need to work as a support and mentor for the new employees, the new joiners. Then they need to enhance the productivity of the employees. And then they need to continuously work
Work
on
on
self
self.
improvement, which is very important part actually. Getting it out. So these are the duties and responsibility of the corporate trainer. These are the job descriptions of the corporate trainer actually. So we need as per the requirement. We can customize it also as per the requirement of our organization, as per the organizational needs actually. So as per for performing these jobs, for performing these roles, for performing these duties and fulfilling these duties and responsibilities, what are the essential skills that you need to know in the step 1? So those are the 7 essential skills. These are the 7 core skills we used to call actually. So these are the core skills actually which are required by the all the corporate trainers actually. So 7 essential skills are: number 1, as you have said, technical skills, then strong communication skills, then organization skills, then adaptability, okay, and then ability to assess employees. That you exactly you have said actually. They should be, the corporate trainer should be able to assess their employees actually. If they will be not be understanding their employees actually, how how they'll be delivering the training, designing the training, delivering the training, okay, and managing the training. So it is very important skill. Then advanced research skill, and then enthusiasm for learning actually. So technical skills, when we coming to the first skill actually, so little bit in brief we will be discussing it out. It's a very important part because all the selection procedures are based on these skills actually. When we are next step also will be moving, so we are identifying these skills into the trainers actually. When we are conducting the interview, where we are, when we are, they are demonstrating, we're asking them to present the presentation also. So we are identifying these skills into that trainer, into the trainer's candidate actually. So technical skills, as we have, or technical competency, we have already enough discussed what are the part of it actually. But being the technical skills actually, instructor, these are the essential 7 skills which every instructor and every trainer should possess actually. So being technical skill, so instructors and trainers must know how to use LMS, learning management system, how to use mobile learning app, then the tools that integrate with them, and then how to develop effective training materials with help of video editing and advanced content authoring tools. About these tools also in the end I will be discussing it out actually. So these being actually, they also should know the how to operate the technology that's used inside a workplace classroom settings as well. So because of blended training, when we are going ahead actually, so then you need to understand this technical skill they should possess actually. Secondly is the strong communication skill. You need to understand effective communication skill is the is the bottom line for all the trainer actually. So instructions and trainers must have effective communication skill to be able to communicate the new and old concept and to the adult learners, because we are dealing with the adult learners actually. So and they need to discuss, teach those concepts in a way that is engaging and helpful and interesting actually. For that, strong communication skill, effective communication skill is much required being a effective trainer. Okay, then the organizational skill. What do you mean by the organizational skill? बताइए, what do we organizational skill, what do you mean by organizational skills? देखिए, ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल स्किल्स मीन्स ऑर्गेनाइजिंग स्किल्स एक्चुअली इट इज. So instructors and trainers need to know how to organize courses and materials in an engaging and practical way, so that the learner should be retaining it out. Learners should be, and they need to organize their training calendar also. They need to be organized to that manner actually. So organizing lessons and courses is a part of being an instructor and a trainer. So instructors should and the trainers need to know how to organize courses and materials in an engaging and practical way for learners retention levels, but also keep their training calendar organized. And in addition, they must clearly communicate and document what's required of each learner and when. Okay, so for that, organizational skill is also very important, because if we are not presenting our course materials or the content into the learning, battery is low. What is happening over here? Just a moment. Give me a try. Charger I was not putting. Okay. Okay, then the organization skill, then adaptability. As you know, adaptability, creativity, resilience are the attributes that a trainer should have, a corporate trainer should have. So effective instructors and trainers needs to be adaptable. And in which sense we have talked in the beginning also into the trainer's style also. Flexibility and adaptability should be there in the trainer actually. If the training, if they can tell certain course material isn't clicking, if the management is saying or the trainees are saying that any certain course material isn't clicking with some learners, or they need to switch schedules, then they need to be very flexible and adaptable. They should not be adamant that we should not be changing our schedule, we should not be changing as the course is going, it should go on. So these kind of trainers are not likable by anyone right now, any company in fact actually. So corporate trainers should be adaptable, should be flexible actually, and they are constantly finding, they need to constantly finding new and engaging ways, okay, to teach the same concept, and they aren't afraid to adapt new learning strategies or material so that they are accessible and engaging. Okay, so this is very one of the very important skill actually. Then ability to assess employees, as you have already told, all instructors and trainers should be comfortable in assessing the employees willingness actually. When we talking about assessing, we are talking about assessing an employee's willingness to learn, as well as the skill and knowledge that employee have, then their retention level. So there is knowledge retention, in what sense they need to be able to assess the employees in sense of their willingness to learn, in sense of the skill and knowledge level, in sense of retention level. So what is their retention level actually? So they are adept at designing and administrating assessments, and always make sure assessments are accurate and helpful. So it's very important being corporate trainer. Then next is advanced research skill. Advanced research skill You have told the Anant has also told that about the research skill is very important when designing course materials and assessing employees. Effective instructors and trainers research the best and most relevant methods. So because they ensure that their learning materials are relevant and that their tactics inspires learning and engagement. Okay, so advanced research skill is very important skill. And then the last one is the enthusiasm for learning. Enthusiasm for learning, what do we mean by that? They should be the lifelong learners. They are always learning new things themselves, and what we should do, we should keep updating ourselves as well as to our trainees. Okay, that is they can make sure the instructor and the trainers have these 7 skills outlined, which is right now we are discussing. If you want them to be effective, if you want to hire the effective corporate trainer, then you need to ensure that they should have these skills. At least few important skills they should have out of this. So this is the first step actually, because now the onward steps will be based on these skills actually. So second step, what we are doing, second step is the behavior based interviews. Behavioral based interviews, or trainer candidate will be participate in 45 to 60 minutes interview with the HR people, with the human resource department, and then candidates will respond to behavior based questions that relate directly to the identified trainer competencies. So what do we mean actually? The behavioral based training. Anybody has experienced this behavioral based interview questions? Anybody can discuss with me? What are the behavior based questions? Why it is important actually, and what techniques, what method is used for behavior based interview? Which method we are using it on? Anyone can tell why at this step 2 we are coming to the behavior based interview? Are you aware of this, that for the selection of the trainer we are going for the behavioral based interview questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Why? First we'll be discussing why
Uh,
behavior based interviews.
Well, a trainer, or for example, for that matter, any employee, he faces different kind of situation while working. Now, how he reacts to those situations, how he is maintaining his balance and reacting to the situation, that is assessed through these behavior-based interviews. So, different situations are thrown to the candidate, and his response is assessed based on that. The behavior pattern of the participants are adjusted, and based on that, selection is made.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else can tell something if they are having some knowledge of that? You all are into the training field, in fact. You can enlighten me. Okay, coming to the why answer actually, why behavioral based interview. So these interview questions actually explore those essential competencies and skills which are needed to first determine and meet the employee development need. Okay, because why we are hiring the trainer? For the development of the employees. Getting it out? We are looking for the solution. Actually, that's why the company hires the trainers actually. So these interview questions actually explore those essential competencies and skills which are needed to determine and meet the employee development need firstly, and then secondly to facilitate and present successful and effective training course. Okay, getting it out? And देखिए behavioral training interview questions. हेलो
कोविड में जाके ये वीर वीरांगना में अवंती बाई मेडिकल कॉलेज में अप्लाई कर दो, 58 है कल तक.
Anant is talking. No. Okay.
वीरांगना अवंती बाई मेडिकल कॉलेज में 18 से 44 में 58.
Who's the speaker? Jitendra आपके
18
background
22
में
18 जल्दी करो, जल्दी 58 है.
Jitendra Okay. Shall okay, can you hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so what I was telling actually, the behavioral trainer interview questions actually will explore the competencies, behavioral and qualities, which is essentially required for successful job performance being trainer actually. Okay, so trainer candidate will participate in a 45 to 60-minute interview with HR with the interview behavioral based questions. Okay, and questions that relate directly to the identified trainer competencies actually. अब देखिए whether the trainer is presenting sales training or management training or finance training or customer training, the core skills which we right now just we have discussed the 7 core skills and abilities for successful business trainer or corporate trainer are standard that you need to understand. Why we are for any trainer it will goes the behavioral based interview questions actually, because whether the trainer is from any stream actually, any field, whether he is going to deliberate the sales training or the management or customer services or the finance training, the core skills will remain standard. The core skills and abilities for successful corporate trainer are standard, which we have discussed it out actually. So what is happening? That's why Total Training Solutions has behavior-based interview questions that align with the 7 core trainer competencies. And other we can customize it as well as per the our organization need. Okay, these competencies can be customized as well for by the organization as per the organization need actually. So second step, what we are doing, first step, you need to understand the job descriptions of the what other trainer is, to whomsoever we are going to hire, what job, what roles, what duties they are going to perform. First you need to understand, and for performing that duty in general we have talked the 7 essential skills are there, competencies are there, which should be possessed by the candidate actually, because as I told you, the competencies are the foundation upon which the trainers candidates are evaluated, selected and trained. And then once we have understood the skill, we have understood the JD, second step we need to conduct the behavior based interview. So for that we need to develop the behavior based interview questionnaires. Okay, and we'll be carrying these interviews. What type of question, anybody can tell me if they are having the idea to what type of questions are asked into the trainers interviews, into the behavioral based trainers interview? Anybody can have the knowledge, they can share it out. Anyone? Okay, if I'll be asking you, Chali, I'm straightforward asking you the question. What specific skill has brought you people to the trainer position?
No, तुम्हारा schedule किया है.
Anybody can tell me
Rajat Gandhi क्या है?
what is specific skill brought you to the trainer's profile or trainer's position? And which competency it will be including? When a company or in the interviewer is asking you this question, ki what is specific skill has brought to you the trainer position or the training profile, then which competencies they want to know about yourself? Which skills
कल तुम्हारा लगवाए कि कल हम अपना लगवाए, पहले ये बताओ.
you need to highlight?
हाँ?
Jitendra, in your background, actually, mute yourself. Your background is so
वही हम
much.
कह रहे हैं कितने बजे?
Jitendra, can you hear me?
10 से 12 पे मेरा है, 10 से 12 पे तुम्हारा भी करवाना है.
मैम उसको म्यूट कर दीजिए आप.
हाँ?
But
As
I
a
want
host,
to interact with you. अच्छा, उसको mute कर दो.
नहीं, हाँ.
Okay, okay, that I have done. Now can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was asking, in fact, actually, कि if somebody is asking you have gone as a trainer to give the interview, and what specific skill do you bring to the trainer's position? Then which skill you should be highlighting, and which competency?
First of all, I should be highlighting myself as a subject matter expert.
Okay, right. Very rightly said. And then other.
And then the behavioral competencies that I have as a trainer, what the essential qualities as a trainer that I need to highlight.
Which skills you need to highlight yourself? Very important right now. Which skill?
Right now, most important is my mental balance.
Technical skill.
Technical skill.
that is required by everyone.
By everyone, yeah.
By everyone actually. But
Yeah.
I'm professionally asking if you have gone for the training of the for the interview of the as a trainer, then you need to highlight the personal competencies of yours. What would the interviewer want to actually hear from you? That will include your personal competencies, your planning and organizing skills, your information gathering and analysis skill, your communication and presentation skill, your coaching skill, how adaptability skill, creativity and resilience skill, technical skills, very important actually. So you need to understand that these kind of questions are asked into the interview actually. So they're asking this kind of question like give me an example of a learning intervention you implemented which was successful. What do you think it worked well? Now you need to reply it out. So these type of questions are asked into the interview, actually the behavioral based interview when we are conducting it out. We are asking such questions actually, which should be competency level, which skills they are holding, which competency, how competent they are in which skills actually. This question, give me an example of a learning intervention you implemented which was successful. So take the interview through each step. What you need to do, take the interview through each step of the training process.
Yeah.
What I did actually, why it was successful, because firstly I identify the training need, then designing the right learning intervention, then presenting the training program, then evaluating the effectiveness of the interventions, then highlight the key skills you used from problem assessment to decision making to presentation skill to evaluation skill actually. So very important, you need to highlight your knowledge actually, your competency. Okay, so these type of questions, because I'm not going in the depth because the time is so less. So, but this is very important to understand to whatever questions are asked over here. And then after once interview is conducted, the third step, what we are doing actually is a demonstration is there. So what we are doing, as you all know, presentation, which skills we are identifying? What we are doing into the presentation? Why presentation and demonstration we are asking to do? Give the candidate. The candidate will be required to present a 15 to 30 minutes presentation of a training module to a panel. At this step 3 actually. Why we are asking the trainer to give the presentation or to demonstrate on the topic? Tell me.
Well, to assess how he organizes the entire presentation or the entire training module, one. Second is how is he able to communicate with the participants?
So being interview, what skills we need to identify? How is the presentation skills of the candidate? How is the public speaking? That is a communication skill of that.
Skill.
How is the organizing skill actually? How is presenting his content in fact? So all candidates who pass the behavioral based interview with HR will proceed to the next phase of the interview process and the presentation process actually. And the candidate will be required to present the 15-30 minutes section of a training module to a panel, but not more than 4 panel. Actually, it's not more than the 4 internal interviewers in fact. And here we are requiring to identifying the effectivity of a person into their presentation skills. Then अब देखिए क्या होता है कि why, how the candidate presentation and effectivity, how the effectivity comes. Good and effective presentations require the preparation and practice. It shows confidence and reflects the subject knowledge. So that's why we are asking the corporate trainer to give the presentation or demonstrate themselves actually, how they need to reflect, how confident candidate they are, they need to reflect their subject knowledge, how organized they are in presenting their content, what is their presence of mind. So these all things develops into the by the time, by the preparation and the practices actually. So after the presentation has been done actually, अब देखिए total training solution has a behavior based evaluation and the rating skill. Now we'll be rating to the candidate after the interview is conducted, after the demonstration has been done of that candidate actually. So we will rate the candidate, and that allows the interviewer to evaluate candidate on the 7 core trainer competencies. What competencies we have discussed right now? On that basis, 7 skills, the interview and the presentation will be identifying those skills and will be rating that candidate, and the finally will be selecting it out. So selection में क्या होगा? Based on the result of the behavioral based interviews and the candidates presentation, the qualified candidates will be selected and sent to the next phase of the process, that is the train the trainer instructions. So train the trainers, you know, because every after the we are selecting the trainers actually, there is a train the trainers program of the every company actually in the professional company. So trainers requires both domain expertise as well as the training delivery skills. So all trainers are required to be trained in the areas in which they are deficient. For that, they are need to expose to the train the trainers program actually. Getting it out? So these are the 4 steps we are following for the selection of the trainer actually. And the fast moving fast, what are the factors that enhance the credibility of the trainer? The 4 steps you have understood ki what are the 4 steps. First we are identifying the competency, which competency is required, which are the essential skills which are required as per the job descriptions of the trainer. Secondly, we need to conduct the interview. Thirdly, we need to ask them to give the presentations, and then we are selecting the finally candidate. After once we have selected the candidate, what are the factors that enhance the credibility of the trainer, that you need to know. So what are the factors? That there's a 4 factors actually which enhances the credibility of the trainers. That is the personal conduct, and then the subject expertise, then the social practices or interpersonal relations or skill, or the delivery or facilitation skill. So what do we mean by that actually? Personal conduct. Fast while be moving, you all must be understanding. What do you mean by the personal conduct? Personal conduct includes one's actions and appearance. The trainer should project himself or herself as a professional and be a role model. Personal conduct involves the use of many positive qualities. What are those qualities actually? Sincerity, honesty, straightforwardness, open to accept one's own mistake, accepting feedback or accepting the negative feedback of the trainees, helping others and seeking help from others. These are the personal conduct which are differentiating the one trainer to another trainer actually. These are the factors which is enhancing the credibility of the trainer. Second quality is the social practices. Social practices are essentially the behavior and dealing with other. How we are dealing with other, how which kind of behavior we are possessing while behaving with the while dealing with the trainees. So trainers should uphold the dignity of trainees as individuals. By having the acceptable social conduct, trainers can create an environment of mutual trust and respect. Okay, that is why it's very important to be social, being trainer actually. Then we need to practice the social ethics of the society. Okay, so by having the acceptable social conduct, trainer can create an environment of mutual trust and respect. Trainers have actually, if you're not possessing the social practices actually, so trainers have no regard for from the trainees. So trainers will not be having any regard by the trainees actually. Okay, so third is the, as we have discussed before also, subject expertise, very important. Content expertise and the subject expertise, very very important. Subject expertise refers to one's knowledge of domain area. From whichever area the trainer is, they should have the depth of knowledge of that field actually. Then mastery, and how it comes. Mastery can be attained only by constant practices. There is no shortcut to the mastery. As you all know, there is no shortcut to the mastery of the subject except by experience and practice. Practice makes the man perfect. That's why it is said. So an individual trainer can have expertise in the subject from whichever field he or she is, by experience and by the practices. They need to prepare themselves actually. So अब देखिए, a new trainer can prepare and present a talk using audio visual gadgets, but the reality of expertise comes out when he has to satisfactorily answer the questions of the trainees. If you're not able to answer the questions of the trainees, if you don't have the expertise into answering, you're not able to satisfy your trainees, that then there's no sheer waste of the training actually. So you need to subject expertise, you should have depth of knowledge, you should have, you should be able to take the queries of the trainees, you should be able to give the reply and answers of the queries of the trainees. Okay, then the another important facilitation skills. About the facilitation we have discussed before also. So fast I'll be moving. Facilitation means enabling or empowering others to help themselves. We have already discussed. Facilitation skills are as important as subject expertise. Being corporate trainer, very, very important. You cannot be only trainer. You need to own the processes, whole processes actually. So you need to be a habit expert into the dealing with the groups, dealing with the group processes actually. So trainers must know how to use different learning approaches and which approach will suit in a which specific position in a specific situation, any particular solution. Okay, some of the important issues in facilitation skills, being trainer, we are handling it out, facing it out, is a handling questions and training, answering questions, incorporating adult learning styles, then the time management, then the training motivation, and the handling the diversity. All you people understand how these are the some of the important issues which we need to deal with while facilitating the training program actually. Okay, handling the diversity is right now into the multinational is so very important. Trainers have to handle diversity from diverse background and under the different situations actually. Trainees differs in several issues right now these days. Their culture, their education, their experience, their subject of study expertise, their geographical location, language, learning styles, their personality types, getting it out, their personal problems, so many factors are affecting actually to the, so we need to diversity, handling with diversity, we need to learn actually being successful and effective trainer if you want to become. It's very, very important right now to how to deal, how to handle the diversity, because you cannot expect one reason candidate or one type of audience, one type of trainees actually. Okay, so they will be, they must be the from the different background, different experience, different subject expertise, locations will be different, language will be different. So we need to deal with that, we need to learn the how to deal with them, and then we need to learn as per the training type also. Facilitation skills में आपको ये भी समझना होता है कि what is the type of the trainees actually and how to handle them actually. This expertise being facilitator you should have. अब trainee type of हम challengers, if the trainees are challengers, that means they're questioning the value of trainer, materials provided, the aids used, about the training environment. They need to they always challenge actually. There are the few type of candidates actually. Trainees are always there, they are not questioning about the values of the trainer, about the materials provided, they're about the ads where the facilities we have provided, they're always speaking about that actually. So how to deal as a trainer actually, you need to be calm and defensive, should answer the questions. If the trainee is not convinced by you, then you should call him in privately and ask him to cooperate. And if he is not notorious, you ask him to leave the training session. So sometime it happens, but it should be the rare case. We should be having the expertise into the dealing and convincing him to be not to be notorious. But if they are very notorious, so with the help of the management, we need to ask that participant training to leave. Then the latecomers are there. Then the winners are there who are always in the habit of complaint, crying baby we used to call them. Because always there are the actually trainees having habit of complaining about anything and everything. They shift focus of the training by the their complaints and grievances. And how to handle being trainer, you should decide quickly, whether Venus complaints should be addressed or ignored. Ideally, such complaints should be deferred and answered one by one on one. Kabhi by in public you should not be attending, other they will be diverting the total training sessions actually. So during the break time you can ask to meet, and you can ask the to talk to us. The train actually it is very problem. These kind of candidates will be dealing actually. These are the generally three types of trainees we are talking about, who will be the challenger, who will be the crying baby complainer, and who will be the latecomers actually. So we need to have, by being facilitators, we need to have the expertise into these actually. Lastly, what is the making difference? Which is the another skill which is in enhancing our credibility of the trainer is the presentation skills. Effective presentation skills are essential for the effective training. Mastering effective presentation skills will help trainers to speak sequentially and the meaningfully in a manner liked by the most of the trainees actually. And they need to present how they will be presenting the content. The organization skills should be very good, which is also one of the requirement to differentiate from the trainer to trainer actually, and that is organizing the training content. Their organization skills should be very good actually. And how they need to, like one way I'm telling you out, it's not hard and necessary you should present the content like this only, but one of the specific way organizing the training content, normally the content should be organized in the following order which I'm showing it out. There are the two major way actually, the two main ways to organize the content, the sequential or the non-sequential. So sequential, I'm showing it out. First, you should be there should be the overview of the session. Then transition should be there. Transitions means come to the subject stepwise actually. Move from familiar to unfamiliar information. Move from simple to complex information, so that the trainee should be grasping it easier, more easier way. Then avoid digressions, because digressions take you off track and prevent you from answering the questions you have been presented. So digressions will make your response too confusing and too complicated actually. So avoid digressions, and then gauge the understanding. You understand that you need to measure or test the understanding of the trainees actually. Okay, what is the learning outcomes, how you'll be understanding whether the trainees are learning or not actually. For that you need to measure or test the understanding of the trainees actually, and in the end you need to summarize your train content. Okay, so this is the one sequential order to present your training content. And the last but not the least, the must have training tools for the trainers. LMS and the TMS we have already discussed in the last session, but here in the you need to understand that the learning management system is the best training tool for the trainers who want to create course, manage users, and the track the performance of their online training and the learners in a learning management system. TMS we have already discussed actually. TMS, training management system, or the TRMS, training resource management system, is having the resource planning two options also, and whatever the LMS is having, they are having all the options actually. LMS is basically the dedicated to the learners, and TMS is basically dedicated to the organizations. So from the learners point of view actually, LMS is the best actually training tool for trainers who want to create the training course. They need to manage the users or the learners, and they need to track the performance of their online training course and the learners actually. Okay, secondly is the content authoring tool. So these are the must-have training tools for the trainers. This is the last which I'm going to discuss actually. These are the training tools. A good trainer, effective trainer should know about this training actually tools. So second is a content authoring tool. What is the content authoring tool? So authoring tools and softwares platforms that let trainers add variety of media and multimedia files to create the engaging training. For engaging training, media and multimedia files are very important actually. If you want to build the interactive course, an e-learning authority tool sounds like the best way to go ahead actually. So content authoring tool you should be knowing about. Right now there are many learning management systems that comes with the built-in tools. So you need to search about the such elements which are having the built-in authoring content authoring tool as well. So you don't have to switch between the platform to deliver high quality training. You simply create your account, access your training hub, and then start the building your course right away. Okay, and you should have the idea of that. And the last, second is the video editing software. Actually, third, video editing software. You know, video, how interesting the video, you can make the fun factor you can bring through the videos. You can make the training engaged, make the training interesting. So one of the most, but previously one of the most overlooked training tool it was actually. But the reason why videos are powerful is that they offer a vivid and engaging learning experience. So being trainer, we should use them actually. Today you can edit a complete video, you know, even on your smartphone, that will be free. So it's never been easier to make your course more fun and captivating actually than right now, because of these tools actually. These tools are making it so captivating and so engaging, so fun. Having the fun element, you can bring the fun element. So learning how to use video tools will your learner experience, will enhance your learner's experience and add on an extra touch to the your course. Okay. And then last one is the social media. You all know how the presently social media can be really the powerful training and development tools. There is an overwhelming search on the popular social media platforms like a Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest. So these are the platforms where your learners like to hang out when they have some time to spare. So as a trainer, what we can do? So as a trainer, connecting with learners on their favorite platform is an excellent way to personalize the learning experience. So this tool also we should integrate in our course. So the world has never been more interconnected. So use it your advantage. So take it advantage of these tools and make your training effective, make your training so captivating. Okay, so I have done with the, so I have taken the enough time actually, 15 minutes more. So anything you need to ask? So what we did, who is the trainer today? I'll be summarizing my sessions today. So who is the trainer? Then roles of the trainers, traditional roles of the trainers, modern role of the trainer, then competency, major competencies required by the trainer, and then what we discussed about the selection process, competencies required, then selection process of the trainer, and then factors which is enhancing the credibility of the training, and the must have training tools by the trainer. Okay, so very important things we have discussed today. So I don't know how much people are grasping and understanding it all. So now tell me, have you understood what I have taught today? Now little interactions, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
So any use of this session you are
Yeah,
finding?
of course. Yeah, of course.
Okay, honest answer now you're giving.
Yes, ma'am.
It's an honest answer. Now. I'm looking for the honest answer being trainer. Okay, we are traditional trainers, so we are also trying to cope up with people. You all are the modern trainers.
Yeah.
You should give me the honest answer actually. What
No,
are
no, of course.
the mm, pluses and minuses of my training sessions? I really want to hear it out actually from you people.
Ma'am, for those who are looking for a job in a corporate in companies, this session will be more important. I'm
Yeah.
not searching for a job, but it is
Okay.
very, very relevant
Yeah,
for me.
because we need to, you need to do understand कि this is the courses actually we are running. So from which perspective actually we are teaching these topics actually?
Yeah,
We
that's
are
right.
teaching these topics actually because the selection process of the corporate trainer we are talking about actually.
Yeah,
This is the
yeah.
topic. So from the organizational perspective, we are teaching these topics in fact. So
True.
that is the reason actually कि sometimes the being the freelancer, you might not be, but yes, knowledge we should have. Which are the skills, which are the, because
But,
we you should have knowledge.
for us also, this is relevant because when we approach a new company, we should understand what they are actually looking for in a trainer.
Exactly. When
Maybe
you are
we'll
making
be
a
hired for a
clientele.
short, yeah, we'll be
Yeah.
hired for a short-term basis, but even then we are hired for the services.
Exactly, because that's what I'm saying. Being freelancer also, if you are finding your clientele, you are making your clientele actually. So understanding the expectations of your client actually is very important. And these are the base actually, these are the foundations. Because the trainers on the basis why the company, the clientele will be hiring you and giving you the training project actually. Because
Yeah.
if you're not having these competencies, if you're not having the understand business competencies, technical competencies, they will be first looking for these competencies in you people, and then
That's
only they will be giving you the project actually. So Anant, little I would like to hear from the Anant and Jitendra also, and then I'll be finishing.
Right. Yes, ma'am. I learned a lot through this session, because even when not only when you are in the job market, but when you are hiring people, when you are hiring fellow
Sitting on the
trainers.
training manager seat also.
Yes. So you get to know what are the competencies that are required, and what should be the competencies that you should be looking at the market scenario of,
Exactly.
moving everything to digital and the e-learning.
Because if you want to hire the quality trainer, you need to understand what are the processes we are following and what are the competences they should be look into the trainers we are going to hire it out, and which they should be advanced with, which tools they should be knowing it out all about actually. So yes, Jitendra, will you speak something? Jitendra is there, or only after connecting he is left? Jitendra, can you hear me? Oh, I have a sorry, muted him.
No, but he can unmute himself.
Acha, okay. He is not online. Chaliye. Oh, Jitendra? No, he's not on. Now he is.
Hello.
Yeah, Jitendra. Are you online only?
No, ma'am. All of the disturbance of voice
No.
cracking is over there.
Honest answer he is giving. He was not online.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you were not listening to me now. You are giving me honest answer.
No, no. I was listening when Sudeep sir talking to you.
Okay.
You was you was muted me. I was trying to unmute me.
Acha,
Couldn't do it.
Acha, you heard to the Sudeep. Did you listen to me also?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Then anything you need to talk as a trainer, you need to give me the tips for improving myself. Any tips from your side?
For me, as per the personal point of view, which I am working on, which is the content development part, which I'm seriously working on that, and I'm just doing the self-development part. Just like I have recently, I have just completed my NLP course, and now I have enrolled myself for development and leadership and team building development. So that's 2 points where I'm working on very seriously.
So as a content developer, actually, which skills you are requiring? Much?
You can say it's an explanation of the subject matter.
So
When we are just putting our idea. Hello.
This question I'm throwing to other also. He is into the content developer part actually. Which skills will be requiring most?
For content development.
Yeah.
That should be the matter expert, madam. If you have a matter expert.
One of the
matter
requirements. Yeah. That then only content you will be, and then advanced research skill you will be requiring for getting the subject content. If you are how you searching from that searching skill and the advanced research skill you should be having in fact actually for that. So good enough, you are entering into the good field. So best wishes from my side, Jitendra. Okay, focus on that. This is the need of the hour actually. So many contents are there, so much content are there, but how to take out the relevant content and making the knowledge skills and providing to the trainees and the participants and the learners is very, very important thing in that. Okay, so over to Varmaji. Varmaji, are you online? Varmaji, can you hear me? Varmaji is not there. So should we end the session?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for listening patiently. Acha, Varmaji has come. Okay, then I'm ending the session. Okay. Take care, everyone. Take care of your loved ones and take care of yourself. Time is very bad.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.